Hello. Hopefully you can hear me well. I changed my desk setup, but welcome. This is our new format for building in public. Since we're basically building out like 2.5 companies at once, we figured that it would be best to split the weekly building in public up with those that are working on Actuate and us that are working on XI. So I'm here with Carolina, and we're going to go over what's up this week. What have we been doing?
What's up, everybody?
Yeah.
Cool. So, how's this week been for you? Well, last week too, because last week we had a whole thing happening. We tried to record a podcast, like it was like the whole universe was telling us, just don't.
I know.
We took like 2.5 hours, I think, and then the whole thing crashed. We didn't get to.
It was ridiculous. And I was just like, there was just a point where we were like, all right, let's just move this to next week. And honestly, it feels great. Like, it was nice to, now we have a little bit more things to talk about. Things have shifted, things have changed. And, last week I wasn't in the right headspace to where I am now, where I'm like, let's go. I am optimistic. Let's keep going. I can do this.
That's funny. We're switching roles because this week I'm on that state of mind that I'm like, oh my God, I'm so tired of these. Like,
I know.
so it's good to have your perspective. But
We're the yin and the yang today.
Yep. And actually, you're dressed in black, kind of light color here.
Yeah.
Should be the opposite though, because I'm the pessimistic today.
Apparently, when you are called to wear black clothing, it's because you want to protect your energy.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
But I'm also giving Steve Jobs, so.
You have Steve Jobs vibes today.
Yeah. I mean business, okay?
Yes. That's what we mean, business. We need to make things happen. So, Yep. So how's this week been for you? All in all, with everything that what have you been up to?
Well, I think what has shaped my mindset is from, when like Andrew and Chris go to these events, like in my brain, it will be like, okay, something big and great is going to happen. And then I'm like, let me just wait on it. But things are awesome and are great and are happening. But I also need to do that too. And I also need to show up and like rattle the bag a little to make something happen. So, and I know, because it's also a thing within me where everyone's attention to something is so powerful. And once you start calling that in, you bring attention and reach out, and, we're still in this phase of outreach. Like, that's when you have to start showing up. So I had to be like, okay, this is the process that I have to go through. I set a new goal for myself, and that was gonna reach out to 20 companies every day. That's 80 a week. Then when that feels comfortable, then I'm going to ramp it up even higher, 30 a day,
Yep.
Just to keep pushing.
Yep.
But right now, doing the 20 a day thing seems like an attainable goal for me. When I kept telling myself, I'm going to reach out to 100 companies a day, I was like, that overwhelms me and I can't do it. And then I don't do any of it.
Yeah, same thing happens with me. I'm like, I'm gonna reach out to 100, and I put a list of 100, and then I'm like, okay, I reach out to 5 of them, but I feel good with myself because I already did all the work of pulling all of that information, right? And it's there, but as I keep telling myself, like, what is it worth having the list if you're not doing anything with the list anyway? So
no one talks about how when you're doing outreach, how 80% of it is vetting people. And it takes so much time.
It takes so much time, exactly, to vet people. And then only, like, I can spend, like, sometimes, if I don't keep track of it, sometimes I can spend 1 hour researching a company or a person, and I'm like, this is not feasible. This is not feasible at all. And when I try to like customize as much as I can to the people that I'm trying to reach out and everything, and I don't get a response, I'm like, all of that work for nothing. But I don't see it as nothing. It's just I'm putting in the reps. I just need to increase my reps now to
Yeah.
become more familiar with it, and it's just I hope that it's around the corner. The time that it comes is just second nature to me, and I don't even have to think about it like, oh my gosh, I have to reach out to these X amount of people. Just do it because that's a habit that you form. And you just do it.
And, the research that you're doing is just making it clear to you what we are actually looking for, you know?
Yep. Yep.
And I'm finding success in using Sammy's method with the white paper.
Yeah. How many people have responded to you for that?
2.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
And I've only
I think
reached out to, I didn't even hit my goal of 20 yesterday because I was falling asleep. But I think I reached out to 14. 2 already responded. And that was last
that's
night.
great.
Yeah.
That's great, I would say. Like they already responded and then you just reached out to them last night.
And I'm
Are you doing your
targeting company pages now over and if like their LinkedIn doesn't have a message button, I will just go to their website and email them.
contact us?
Yeah. Or like they have different emails you can contact them on. I'll contact
Yeah.
them there. And I got so far one answer from LinkedIn and they asked me to move to email. They gave me like the email to contact them with.
Nice.
And then the other one sent me their pitch deck already, like that they're super interested. Yeah. So
yeah.
I'm like, glimmers of hope. Keep going, Nicole.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's true. It's like what you focus on is where you start attracting. I've been trying to implement meditations on a daily basis now for me. And while I meditate, I'm also implementing a time for manifestation. So it's been helping me with my state of mind, like trying to be more conscious about things that I do, try to be more aware of what I'm thinking about, because in a way or another, I might be attracting that into my presence, into my reality. So I noticed that for some reason, there's some days that are just flow, no problem. But there's some other days that I just find these kind of blockages. Or maybe I'm the one creating those blockages in my head. I don't know. Um, but I think it's like this week particularly for me, it's been a little bit challenging when it comes to staying optimistic. And I think that's something that not necessarily a lot of people talk about. They talk about all the great things that they accomplish and how great they're doing and how it's all amazing on their side, right? But I think there's a lot of ups and downs as we are building a business that we go through, and a lot of people probably don't want to share about it because it's not nice and it doesn't look good for them and it doesn't look good for their company or whatever it is. But I'm in for being real more than anything. And I think it's important that we share these things too. There's certain weeks, there's certain days that I don't feel like doing anything. I feel like I just want to crawl back into a hole and just like stay there and hibernate. So I think it makes it easier in a sense to talk about it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I just keep telling myself I could go get a job if I really wanted to. I could go, like, this is not the
End of the world.
yeah. This is the road less traveled,
Yeah.
making and being an entrepreneur. Not everyone's cut out to do it. And it's the people that don't give up are the ones that get through it and, you know, build their business and live their best beautiful life.
That's
And
true.
that's what we're meant to do, you
Yeah.
know?
Well, even though there are some days that I'm like, I've been thinking that about that lately. Actually, I'm like, I think it's easier for me to go and find a job, but at the same time, it's like it feels like I'm so close to attaining what I want, that I'm just gonna keep up, and like all the work that I put in before, I'm just gonna be like, okay, just like this is worth nothing. Just let me go and find a comfortable place for myself. And I don't want that. I feel like we're making progress, even though it doesn't feel like we're making progress.
Yeah. I think that also, like, I talk a lot about within like my personal life, like how my nervous system is responding to, you know, the feeling of not feeling safe, you know, like when you're starting a company and you don't have financial runway, like it takes a toll on you because we find a lot of safety and security in money and being able to get all our needs met. And when you have that pressure on you as well, like it just becomes super draining.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the people, one of the biggest reasons why a lot of people just give up on their dreams or something that they want to accomplish, it's because they run out of their financial runway that they had, and they don't have any other way. It's like at that point you are like, do I pursue my dreams, or do I know for sure that I have a roof over my head, that I have food to eat, that I can pay my bills? That's a very difficult decision to make.
Yeah.
And like you said, not everyone is cut out for this, because a lot of people will tend to gravitate to just the false security that having a job gives you, because you might have the income that you need and you might be able to cover the things, to cover your bills and things like that, but you're not fully free. You're depending on a company, or you're depending on an individual that at any moment, at any given time, they could be like, okay, that's it, today is your last day, bye.
Yeah.
When you own something, when it's something that is yours, and you're working hard for it, and you take it off the ground and you grow it into a big company, you are the one that has the reins. You are the one that
Yeah.
that can, like, there's no limit, like when you have a job, you have your limit. Your limit is your salary. That's it. What do you get as an increase? Probably if you've changed jobs, you might be able to increase 20% on your salary. If you stay with the same company, probably they'll give you a 3% increase every year, but that's it. But when you
Yeah.
own something, the sky is the limit, because no one's gonna tell you, oh, you can only bring this X amount of business. It's not. You just continue growing and you bring more money. Once you realize you're like pulling multi 7, 8, 9 figures a year. And I think that's everyone's ultimate dream, right? It's not about just the money, but the freedom that that gives you,
Yeah.
right? It's insane how much, like, this is something that I was talking to Andrew. I was like, I feel like we've done so much, we enjoy so much, and we are not doing that right now because we are like heads down, focused on bringing the business up. And he's like, yeah, but that doesn't mean we are not happier. But and I realized that a lot of people, and even me at that moment, I was associating happiness with the freedom that money gives you. So in a way, your happiness is related to money. And that's not what I want. Like, I want to be happy because I feel fulfilled, because that's what I want, because I'm fulfilling my dream in life, because I'm getting these off the ground and I'm achieving something that I wanted and not having to depend on anyone. So it's interesting the role that money plays in everyone's life, right?
Yeah.
I think if money wasn't so important, we'll see probably more entrepreneurs. We'll see probably more people out there doing cool stuff, because you don't have to worry about anything. If you wouldn't have to worry about paying for your house or whatever it is, because money covers a lot of necessities that are basic, like even having water, having electricity, having internet so you can run your business, you know. um so, or if you don't want to pay for internet, you want to go to a cafe or something and sit down and work there, you still have to to buy something there. They're just not gonna let you sit
I
because
mean, you could not, but also it's
I seen people like not here, but when I was down in Miami, I seen people being pressured into buying something like, okay, you bought this coffee, but like, you already been here for 3 hours. Are you gonna get something else? And I'm like, oh my God, how rude is that? I get it. You're running a business.
yeah. From I have a friend. If she's listening to this, then she'll know it's her.
Uh-huh.
But she was talking to me about how coffee shops don't make a lot of money because it's usually just people going there to do like some work, and then they just, they buy the coffee, they sit there, and then they leave. But then for like someone sitting there for like 4 hours to do work, what the coffee shop made like six, seven, $8.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
And then if people can't go there to work because they see all the tables are full, they'll go to the next shop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
Um,
true. And you lost a
so
cost, potential customer there.
yeah, so coffee shops don't make a lot of money. So if you are listening, be nice and support them.
Yeah. So I
But
think it's. Go ahead.
I just keep thinking about all of this as like, I'm I used to be like all up in my feelings about all this stuff. Now I'm like, all right, it's a numbers game. What
It is.
if I spend 2 years of my life doing this? That's a little blip in my existence to set myself up for the rest of my life.
Yeah. It was the same. I think it was a friend of mine that told me when I was leaving, when I just moved here, and I was like telling him, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to take an additional course or go to college again because time passes and it's gonna take this X amount of time, and I don't know if I have the commitment for that amount of time. And he was like, well, time is gonna pass regardless. So whether you do it or not, whether it takes you 1 year or 5 years, and when you look back, if you decided to do it, I guess you made a good use of your time and you accomplished it and you got whatever you're looking to get out of it. But if you didn't do anything with it, time still passed. It's not like you're getting younger any year. So be wise on how you choose to use your time because time is gonna pass no matter what. So I was like, damn. I was like, I didn't realize. I was like, whether I do it or not, it's true. I'm not gonna go back to X amount of years. I'm not gonna go back to whatever time I felt when I was in limbo if I wanted to do something or not. Time's gonna pass regardless. And if anything, I think the older you get, sometimes time tends to be not as nice with you because you might lose opportunities as well. So that made me like kind of have a little bit of a realization when I'm like too doubtful on like choosing to do something or not. I'm like, whether I do it or not, like time's still passing. So am I going to continue setting myself up for success, or I'm just gonna keep slacking and I'm just gonna keep finding excuses as to why I'm not accomplishing what I want? And I'm gonna look down the line 1 year, 2 years in, and it's like, oh, but I like you're not gonna go back to where you wanted to in that moment and try to gain all of this time that you wasted. So trying to be, and I think I have to remind myself of that more often than not, because there are some days that I feel like I'm literally wasting my time, and then some other days that I think I try to compensate for that and try to do as much as I can, but then I drain myself. Like it's one string or the other, and I think it's important to find the balance too, as well. So it's like you're not, you know what you're capable of and what your limits are, so you don't have to go one stream or the other.
Gotta give yourself some life giving energy as well.
Yeah,
You
that's
can't,
true.
you know, it's a saying, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Love it. Oh gosh. So yeah. So other than that, I think this week I'm in the stage of accepting that it's not such a good week for me, and it's gonna be challenging. Probably more challenging than other ones, but it is what it is at the end of the day. Doesn't it feel good, like when you accomplish something and when you do something, even though if you didn't want to do it, like for example, you get up and you don't want to exercise today, like I'm tired, I just don't want to, but then you ended up doing it, and it feels so good afterwards that you're like, damn, I would have missed on that
Yeah.
feeling afterwards, right? So I think I need to expose myself more to that feeling of like, even though I don't want to do it, I just do it because I know, as a matter of fact, after the fact, I'm gonna feel good with myself. So I think I should strive to feel more of that feeling,
Mm-hmm. You're like, it's like
crave it more.
it's a discipline, and then when you keep that promise to yourself, that's when you like learn to trust yourself that you can keep promises to yourself.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
That's really nice. That's true. Like if you don't keep promises, if you don't keep true to yourself, you don't keep promises that you make to yourself, like if you're letting yourself down, like what do you expect for anybody else? If you cannot do it for yourself, you're not gonna be able to do it for anybody else.
Yeah, you have to establish a basis of trust within yourself so that you could trust other people.
Yeah, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
like it.
think
I
that
know.
like also I'm the word that's coming up that I'm hearing a lot from you is not having to depend on anyone. And I'm wonder if that's this is like a therapy session now.
I love
And
it though. I love it.
I wonder if that's something that's radiating here within this situation because I find myself like being like, "Oh, I'm not going to bother anyone. I'm not going to reach out to anyone on the team until we have a meeting." Or if it's not like something so urgent. Or
Hmm.
I'm just like, "Oh, like I've been reaching out to Sammy more and like we've been texting and stuff because I'm just like I need help during this." And I feel like being a freelancer, working for myself, I was like I could do everything myself. So, like it's a big transition for me to be like I can lean on people too. And
Yeah.
we're all in this together. I'm wondering if that's coming up for you as well.
It is in a way, but I think it's coming in two ways. There's the one side that I feel like I don't even have to bother the team because I know they got it. I know they're doing it's like the real for the first time in my whole so when she was kicking me for the first time, I'm having that realization that it's I know I can trust my team, and I know I don't have to be like, oh, what do you do? Show me. Like, I don't feel that urgency compared to when I work in other places that it was like, I felt like if someone slack, all of their work will be thrown on me because I was a dependable person on a team. And I was like, the whole time I was scared and in a way trying to be like, hey, telling everyone, if you need help, just let me know, I can help you. Because I knew that in the end, I wouldn't have to carry my work plus theirs, right? On this dynamic, it's different because I don't know how to explain. I know for a fact that you guys can accomplish and can do anything that you say that you're gonna do it. I don't need to worry about, oh, and what if they're not doing this? Those thoughts don't even come to mind because I know you guys are doing it. You're crushing it. But on the other hand, I'm like, I feel like I am the one that is not bringing enough to the plate. And I feel that it's like, oh my God, I see my team is doing great and they're doing all of these things. And what have I brought so far? What have I done? What have I converted? Like on all of my outreach. And it's like that sense of like you said, I don't want to depend on anybody. I think that was something that I grew up with, that was ingrained with me at a very young age, and that's why I think it's something that I carry with me, even though in my adult life now. But at the same time, I feel like maybe this is happening, so I learn to depend on other people, some other things. It's okay to reach out, like, hey, you know what? I'm not getting any responses. Do you think that maybe even having this conversation, it just changes your state of mind and you can have a better result from the outreach that you're doing. you know? It's the little things. It's not all about being tactical. It's not all about like crafting the perfect message or reaching out the perfect target or making sure that they have X amount of budget or anything like that. Maybe it's just a little words of encouragement and be like, hey, it's okay. You know, you're not gonna be at your 100% all the time. It's okay. It's fine. We're human. You're muted.
Oh yeah, I know. I was sipping my smoothie and I'm at like the bottom of it, so it makes, that very annoying sippy noise. And I was like, I don't want to edit this post production. So I'm just gonna mute myself. But yeah, no, it's all like a validation within yourself because I always feel like I'm not doing enough as well. So it's all in your head. Right now, what I'm seeing for me as validation is like if I can get one company to answer me, I'm doing great. So that's like I have a very low expectation for myself. So now that I'm like, oh my God, two companies answered me. I can see their employees looking at my LinkedIn. I'm like, I'm doing something. I'm shaking the bag. I'm rattling the boat. Like, it's the little things where I'm like, okay, that's why I'm like, all right, I'm going to send out 10 messages with one of our different message positioning. I'm like, if people aren't answering, I'm switching. Like, I just have to like let it go and move on to the next thing and see what people are biting. It's all a big science experiment. And I also, you know, we're in this very frustrating phase that I have been in the past with a lot of startups I've been in. I know that we're doing something different here. And it's not like we're selling a specific product, we're selling a service, that's new for me. But right now we are in the midst of finding product market fit and figuring out where we fit within the industry. Do you know how many companies I have worked with that completely skip this phase because they're feeling the same things that we're doing and start building, and then they have to backtrack because they don't have proper product market fit, and they've already invested a bunch of time, energy, and money into something, and they can't go out and sell it because they did not take this time to properly figure out who they're building this product for. Who are they going to sell it to? Right now, this is the most frustrating part. And a lot of companies skip this phase because, they have someone that's in charge that's like, I know what people want. I'm going to go build it. We came here, again and again saying, we think we know what people want, but it's all, as Andrew always says, it's like it's all assumptions until it's validated. And
Yeah.
the most important thing that I'm also learning from this is that I need to learn how to talk about business better and numbers
Yeah.
and ROI.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like I can't remember who it was that I said it on the team, but they're like they have these people and then you have the CEO and then you have the CTO. Like they don't understand that when you start talking technicality, they just want to know, okay, this how much money is gonna bring me into the business? What's this gonna convert to? Is this gonna take the company to the next phase? Is this gonna position us into the market or something like that? It's when you get too technical, that's why you have your technical people, but it needs to be a way for you to demonstrate that what you're doing is actually going to be beneficial all in all.
Yeah.
um, because that's something that a lot of technical people lack and don't know how to convert and don't know how to explain the benefits of doing this specific project or those this specific revamp or whatever it is that they're doing, how much it can impact a company. So yeah, like you said, it's great that we're taking the time to, even though it's frustrating as hell. And I feel like every day I get up and I get beat until I fall on my knees and then I have to get up again. I feel like I'm in that phase. It's like it's so freaking frustrating. But it's good that at least we're taking that into consideration because, like you said, we don't want to be investing time, money, effort, energy. And then we're like, oh, we built the wrong thing. Oh, this is not what people want. Oh, never mind. It's better to find out from the very beginning what is that they're looking for, so we can come
Mm-hmm.
to the market with that.
And really practicing non-attachment, because like I've that's why I'm like I just want to pivot so fast, you know? Like each meeting I'm coming
Yeah,
into, when we go into our weekly meetings, I'm saying, okay, we figured this out. Now we got to do the next thing. Let's pivot to the next thing. It's all just figuring out what works. And it's all just going to be like, okay, this doesn't work, this doesn't work, this doesn't work. Then something's going to work.
yeah,
Then we say, okay, is it really
yeah.
working? Is it really working?
And then it's like, what?
And then if it's not working, pivot. Like we can't have any
We can
attachment
attach.
on what's going on, you know?
It's about the
Just j-
results of the
just
things. If it's not happening, it's
just
for a
keep
reason.
rattling the bag. I keep thinking of like popcorn. After you pop it and you like, you know, move the bag around, I'm like, I gotta make that noise. That's what's happening in my head when I say rattle the bag. Or
Yeah,
snakes. But
yeah. No snakes.
snakes are cool. I'm learning to get over
And
it because I just want to be Steve
yeah,
Irwin.
I think they're pretty beautiful. What I'm afraid of, it's I wouldn't be afraid of touching a snake that is a pet snake. I'm not afraid of that. What I'm afraid of is finding a snake in nature
Mm.
and like walking and then bumping into something and like first of all not knowing what it is. I don't know if it's poisonous or not, or venomous, right? Venomous or
Mm-hmm.
not. I don't know if it can kill me or not. Probably it's just completely harmless and I have no idea. So I think I'm afraid of those encounters, especially when I go on walks on the woods or something. I'm always like, is there anything around? But I think they're really
They
beautiful.
are.
Like really, really beautiful
I
animals.
have to send you.
Like if I could
Yeah.
just pet one,
I
I think that would be like
I have to
amazing.
send you a video because when I go back home, I work at this reptile cent. Well, it's not. It's a science museum that has reptiles. And the last time I was
Oh, how cool.
there, I took care of the bearded dragon and the snake. And the snake that they have there is like so, like, she's so like beautiful and cute. And I'm like, I would like literally cuddle with this snake. Like, she's so cute. Like,
Is it big
it's
or
big.
small?
It's like medium
Really?
size.
Like how? Like 5 feet?
Probably a little bit longer. I think it's a
Six and a half?
boa, but she's so
Oh,
calm because
oh, I
they have
love it.
another boa there that's a male, huge, and he's mean. Yeah.
Really? Away from that
Yeah,
one.
no,
I don't
I
even
was like, I'll
want
touch the
to.
girly snake. That's cool with me. But she was like so cute, and I'm like, I need
Oh,
I
I
know I need to
love
show you the
it.
videos. I'm like, I would literally cuddle with this snake. So,
Oh, yeah, and a lot of people like have them like
mhm,
pets, and they become like really big, really, really big. For me, it's always been lizards.
me
I love
too.
lizards.
I miss my bearded
I grew up with a
dragon.
lizard. I had a no, it wasn't a lizard. It was yes, it was a lizard. It was a green one. It looked like an iguana. His name was Spice,
Cute. My
and I'll have to put him to sleep every night.
aw.
I got him used to that. Like if I wouldn't like rub this part
He's like,
in bit, yeah, he wouldn't fall. He wouldn't go to sleep.
aw.
And I had like a little blanket for him. He grew up to be a big one. Then I had to give it up because I wanted him to have like the proper environment with trees and
Mm-hmm.
everything. So I don't know. After I gave him up, I was told a couple years that he was doing great, that he loved the water. But then I don't know. I just lost contact with the
Aw.
person. But every single time that I would ask, they're like, "Oh, he's doing great. He's so happy and he has grown so much." So I was like, "Oh, that would warm my
Yeah.
heart every time."
I love lizards. My bearded
Yeah,
dragon's name
they're the
was Danny
best.
DeVito.
I love it. I remember Danny. You show it to me,
Mm-hmm.
right?
His name was Danny DeVito.
So cute.
Because he gave Danny DeVito energy. And
And after that, you haven't had any?
No, it was very expensive, and it grounded myself into reality on how expensive pets are. So I said, in the future. Also, I don't really want any commitments right now with an animal. I just want to be able to leave whenever I want and travel whenever I want.
That's true. Yeah, you need to think about
My
that.
100% focus is this growing this business. I put everything else on my
Yeah,
life on hold.
on hold.
Like
Yeah.
everything. Like I swear. Like even like I told myself, I'm like, I'm not dating anyone until this business.
Wait for it. I said the same thing before I met Andrew. I was like,
Nope, nope.
everyone
Nope,
else.
I refuse.
No, I'm telling you.
I
I'm telling you.
refuse.
And then I met this guy, my husband now, and he like, I don't know. It's like it feels like the moment I said to myself, I'm done with him. I don't want anything to do with them. Like I literally said that. I was like, I don't have time today. I don't want to date anyone. I made that conscious decision. I was like, I don't want to date anyone. I'm fed up with it. And then I met him, and he was like, "You said what?"
I don't
And I
know.
ended up marrying him.
I've been good for the past 5 months. 5 months ago I said, nope, no more.
Yeah.
And every time I'm like, nope. Anytime the opportunity is slight, like I feel it slightly going there, I'm like, no, I'm gonna leave.
Not happening. Bye.
Nope. Everything I've put on hold for this. And
I think
I really just need
as
to
long as you feel
focus.
good.
I just really need to focus and do what I have to do and what's best for me. And that is working on this, working with all these amazing people. And, you know, I also have the same feeling as well of that I'm working with a group of people where I feel like I don't have to worry on checking up on people because we are all actuators. And Actuate Ventures is the other thing that we're building as
The
well.
umbrella
Yeah.
company. Yeah.
And I think that we've curated, Andrew has, because he's the rallier of curated people where he's like, actuator, actuator, actuator.
Yeah, he identifies them. It's like you come
Yeah.
in.
Hello.
Hello.
And I just need to focus. Like this is, you know, this is what my baby, and you know, it's all of our babies and us bringing that into the world. And
It's a big baby. We're all putting different parts.
it's a I was gonna say it's a big fat baby, but
Yeah, it is. It feels like it.
When the doctors come in and they're like, this baby is 13 pounds.
That's ours.
Yeah. When they're like, this is a very big baby. Congratulations.
It is. Yeah. Congratulations. You were able to push that? Oh gosh. That's true. But I think it's refreshing to have these kind of conversations because I think it makes me, at least me, it helps me realize that I'm not like all of these thoughts and all of these self-sabotage that I create within myself. It in a way it's kind of validating to know that I'm not the only one going through it. We all are going at the same time, and it's just like, okay, we got this. Just keep going. Like, and that's one thing Andrew told me. It's like, if you're gonna keep focusing on finding why it's not working out, you're just gonna keep encountering more of that. But if you're gonna switch your focus and focus on what you really want, which is find your ideal client, like convert it, and like not just one, but multiple one of, you're gonna find more of that. So whatever you put your energy, your thoughts, and your mind to, you're gonna be able to make it happen. So be very careful what you're choosing to focus your energy on.
I mean, I'm excited for when we have this meeting next week talking about us as like an internal team, how we work together, and like what's best for us to like set each of us up for success. Because, you know, maybe also within like how things are operating, you're like, maybe this isn't working for me, and what needs to set me up for success is different from everyone else. Like for me, setting up these Notion documents And I set it up as like, I've been trained to do it with user research, and I've been trained to look and view patterns and kind of treat it as a little science experiment. That's what works best for me in my brain. And I feel like setting that structure up for myself is what is helping me to push through. So, there's opportunity for you to do that as well if things that, the systems that are set up aren't setting you up for success.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I think it's for me it's just in a way. I think like for me I think it's very selfish because it's good for me to know that I'm not the only one that feels that it's drowning, but I'm like, why do I want everyone else to feel the same thing? It's kind of selfish.
No, I don't think so.
I think it's I think it's in a way like what I'm looking for is like a validation that I'm not alone on this. But at the same time, I tend to gravitate like, but why do I want people to feel the same way I do? But that doesn't mean necessarily they have to feel the same way. It's like you could have felt that way in like completely different
Yeah.
aspect. But I try to find that relativity to it, I
Mm-hmm.
guess. How can we relate to it? No, but like it's good. Like because like when I have these meetings, I don't know about you, but for me it's like kind of refreshing. I get out of them like energized, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and like I get into action. So it's good. Maybe I should. I have a I found a message from, oh my God, Chris Hemsworth, and he has a videos like saw someone share it and was like, oh, when you're feeling like down that you are not like stepping up to the plate or bringing what you want to bring, like listen to this message. And it's him literally sitting on a chair and like talking and say, hey you, like I'm proud of you, like look at you, everything that you accomplished and everything. And I just fucking love the
So
message.
you just got to keep listening to it.
Every day,
Yeah.
every day, because I listen to it like probably once every couple of weeks when I remember, and then I'm like, wait a second. And there's another page that I found that it's like motivation, but like a little bit of like harsh motivation, and uh it's like, hey you got this, things like that. so, so I need to listen to that. Maybe that's what I like, harsh love.
No, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I need someone to just call me out on my. And
Yeah.
it's funny, every time we curse, I mark the clip just so I could cut it out so we're monetizable on YouTube. So I'm like, I'm about to curse,
Yep.
mark the clip.
Yep.
Uh, Everything. Yeah, I need someone to just get me out of like it's the reason why it's so therapeutic to talk to another person about how you're feeling is because it gets you out of your own head. First of all, you feel validated in how you feel. Second of all, you real like things feel like a lot more weight when you keep them in.
Yeah, that's
It
true.
helps like air out the
Feels like you're
situation. And I always need some like loving, kick in the ass to get me to just get out of my head and
reflection.
jolt me into just keep going. You could either because when I do feel those things, I will say to myself, "All right, you know what? We're just gonna give up for today. Let's just totally give up and let's see how that feels." I usually get bored within like 8 hours.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, what am I gonna do now, right?
So you could always give up if you wanted to. Feel into the feelings of giving up. Like break it down and see how it feels. Really just feel like, yeah, you know what? F all of this. I'm just going to give up. See how it feels. Does it feel aligned? Maybe it does feel aligned and you're like, "You know what? Actually, I haven't felt this relief in so long. Maybe I really don't want this." Or maybe it's like, "No, I still want it. Giving up doesn't feel as good as trying to keep going." And, you know, instead of trying to avoid those feelings.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe it has happened to me. I'm like, okay, I'm done for the day. I don't feel like doing anything else. And when I do that, I feel so drained. It's like do I really want to feel like this? Because it feels like when I tell myself that it's okay to give up and it's okay, I'm done for the day and I don't want to keep going, it's too much. Feels good at first, but then at the end of the day, I feel like almost like I'm empty inside. And it's like, why is it worth to have these day of deciding not to do anything if at the end of the day I'm gonna feel like I'm empty, like I didn't do anything fulfilling. And even the days that are harsh and they're really difficult, no matter how hard it is, if I know if I keep pushing, at the end of the day I feel good. I feel like I basically can pat myself in the back and be like, yes, I did it. No matter what, against everything, I felt like I didn't want to get up from bed, let's say. I felt like I just wanted to, like, well, I always, I always tell Andrew, I felt like I want to run naked around the neighborhood just for the sake of it. He's like, but why?
Freedom.
Yes, freedom, exactly. So it's like afterwards, I just feel good. I'm like, okay, it might have been a pain in the butt to do it, but I feel good with myself. It's just like a comforting feeling that even though no matter how hard it feels in the moment, I know that I'm gonna feel good with myself. And that feeling of accomplishment, that when you accomplish something, you reach your goal for the day, like it's like it feels so good within you. I feel like it keeps the fire burning for me, and it gives you motivation for the next day. Even though the next day you wake up and you're like, okay, no, I don't want to do this. But then you do it, and then you're like, damn, okay, this feels good. So I think it's just a matter of just getting on the rhythm of like just doing that, more of that, because you experience it. You know for a fact it's
Yeah.
gonna feel good.
Human beings are incredible. Well, I see that we're at 53 minutes and it just feels a nice natural place for us to catch you next week. Bye.
Bye everyone. Thank you for listening.